So when Justin Bieber released his new album Swag, fans around the world were eager to dive into the lyrics, not only because they wanted to hear his latest sound, but also because the songs gave a glimpse into his life. His marriage with Hailey Bieber and the struggles and triumphs they have faced together. Justin has never shied away from pouring his heart into his music and in Swag. He confirmed that like many couples, they have had their challenges, but what makes his story so moving is the way he transforms personal battles into art that millions can relate to. Hailey showed her support by sharing moments of herself listening to the album, and this reminded fans that their love continues to grow through ups and downs. And this honesty is what keeps people drawn to him, because it shows that fame and fortune do not shield anyone from real-life experiences. In fact, Justin's openness about his journey is part of a larger tradition of celebrities who share their vulnerabilities with the world to inspire others. Think about Selena Gomez, who after her highly public relationship with Justin and its eventual end, turned her own pain into advocacy for mental health through her Rare Impact Fund, reminding fans that healing is powerful. Or consider Demi Lovato, who has been transparent about recovery and resilience, proving that struggles can be stepping stones to greater strength. And then there are figures like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who came from humble beginnings, faced rejection and injury, yet became one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, not only through movies, but also by giving back with charity work and motivation. His journey resonates because it highlights how perseverance can turn setbacks into triumphs. And just as Justin uses his platform to remind us of faith and growth, other stars do the same in their own unique ways, such as Taylor Swift, whose storytelling through multiple music eras has taught her fans to embrace reinvention, or Zendaya, who started as a Disney star and blossomed into an Emmy-winning actress, fashion icon, an advocate for diversity in entertainment. And these celebrity stories, when woven together, paint a beautiful picture of resilience, courage, and inspiration that connects fans across the globe. Whether it is BTS encouraging self-love and unity through music, or Rihanna building a fashion and beauty empire that celebrates inclusivity, or Oprah Winfrey transforming adversity into a life of purpose, every journey shows us that success is not just about fame, but about meaning, impact, and authenticity. And so when we return to Justin and Hailey, we see a couple who are still learning, growing, and proving that even in the spotlight, love requires effort, patience, and support, and their willingness to share both joy and struggle with the world makes their journey feel authentic and relatable. And as the story of Justin and Hailey Bieber unfolds through the songs of Swag 2, it becomes clear that their openness about marriage struggles is not about weakness, but about strength. Because admitting challenges while still showing love and unity proves that relationships are built on growth and understanding. And this mirrors what many other celebrities have shared in their own ways, such as Beyonce and Jay-Z, who after facing rumors and personal challenges turned their experiences into art with Lemonade and 444, creating albums that spoke not only to them, but also to millions of fans who saw their honesty as healing. And then there are couples like Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, who with humor, vulnerability, and love have invited fans into their family life, making their story relatable while also using their platform for philanthropy and awareness. And when we think about individual journeys of resilience, we cannot forget Selena Gomez, who after her public breakup with Justin, continued to grow into an artist, actress, entrepreneur, and mental health advocate with Rare Beauty and her documentary My Mind and Me, both of which showed that the greatest strength sometimes comes from sharing struggles openly and turning them into sources of inspiration for others. And in the same way, Demi Lovato shared her recovery journey through music, while Lady Gaga transformed her experiences into anthems of empowerment, reminding fans that no one is alone in their battles. And the pattern we see is that celebrities who embrace their humanity often create the most lasting connections with their fans, because people do not simply admire their fame. They admire their courage, their vulnerability, and their willingness to turn pain into purpose. And beyond Hollywood, we see examples of inspiration worldwide, like BTS, who opened up about pressure and self-doubt while encouraging their fans, known as ARMY, to practice self-love and unity, which turned their concerts into safe spaces of joy and empowerment. And Blackpink, who combined artistry, fashion, and performance to create a global movement of confidence and individuality for young women everywhere. And when we look to icons of the past like Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, or Prince, we realize that their struggles were real and human too. And while their art lives on forever, their stories remind us of the pressures of fame and the importance of empathy and understanding. And this is why Justin's willingness to talk about his marriage with Hailey resonates so deeply, because it shows growth, maturity, and a desire to live authentically, and Hailey herself has carved her own lane through modeling, fashion, and her skincare brand Rhode, proving that she is more than a celebrity spouse, but a woman with ambition, dreams and achievements of her own, and together they represent a modern couple who are navigating love life and fame side by side, inspiring millions of young people to see that relationships thrive, not in perfection, but in honesty and effort. And this theme of perseverance and growth is echoed across the celebrity world in stories like Zendaya, rising from child star to acclaimed actress, or Serena Williams redefining what it means to be an athlete, a mother, and a role model, or Leonardo DiCaprio, balancing an Oscar-winning career with passionate environmental advocacy, each of them showing that true celebrity impact lies in legacy, purpose, and the ability to touch lives. And as we follow the narrative of Justin and Hailey Bieber, it becomes clearer that their story of facing difficulties while holding on to love is not an isolated tale, but part of a long history of celebrity journeys that reveal the humanity behind the headlines. Because when Justin admitted through Swag Duai that marriage has challenges, yet also confirmed his love for Hailey, it reminded fans of how honesty creates connection, and this mirrors the paths of countless stars who have faced obstacles, yet found strength to rise again. Take Britney Spears, whose comeback after years of personal struggles, and the Free Britney movement showed the power of resilience, and the dedication of fans who never gave up on her, or Demi Lovato, who continues to use music as a way to process recovery, while showing fans that healing is a journey, not a destination. And even Miley Cyrus, who transitioned from Disney stardom to bold reinvention with Wrecking Ball, and then again with Flowers, proving that change is a natural and necessary part of growth. And in the same way, Justin has moved from being a teenage sensation with Baby to a man reflecting on faith, love, and responsibility through his albums, while Hailey stands beside him, supporting his artistry and building her own world of beauty and fashion success. And this theme of evolving identities continues across the industry with stars like Ariana Grande, whose resilience after personal loss and tragedy inspired music that uplifted millions, and Lady Gaga, who went from eccentric performances to Oscar-winning actress while using her platform for advocacy and philanthropy. And then we look at Selena Gomez, who remains connected to Justin's past, but whose present is defined by strength, independence, and advocacy for mental health through rare beauty, and her foundation reminding us that moving forward can be the most empowering act of all. And across the globe, similar stories unfold, with BTS rising from humble beginnings to become cultural leaders, speaking at the United Nations about self-love and empowerment, while Blackpink turned their passion and artistry into a worldwide movement, inspiring millions of young fans to embrace individuality and confidence. And in sports too, we find this theme with Serena Williams, who balanced motherhood and championship wins, breaking barriers for women everywhere, and Lionel Messi, whose career became a story of persistence, passion, and global unity after leading Argentina to World Cup glory, showing how celebrities in all fields inspire not only through talent, but through perseverance and humility. And as fans, we see ourselves reflected in these stories, because whether it is Justin and Hailey navigating marriage, Taylor Swift reinventing eras, Zendaya breaking barriers in Hollywood, or Rihanna building an empire that champions diversity, these journeys remind us that setbacks do not define anyone. What defines them is the choice to keep moving forward. And as we explore more about the celebrity world, it becomes obvious that the most iconic stories are not just about glittering red carpets or chart-topping albums, but about the comebacks, the moments when stars find themselves at their lowest and somehow rise again stronger than ever. Justin Bieber sharing in Swag Duai that marriage is both a joy and a challenge shows how open he has become about his personal life, and how that honesty connects with fans who admire not only his music, but his growth as a person. And Hailey Bieber standing by his side shows that love in the spotlight requires strength and commitment, and this story of resilience is echoed by so many others like Beyonce, who turned personal pain into the masterpiece. That was Lemonade, showing that vulnerability can become art. And by Jay-Z, who in 444 reflected on growth, responsibility, and family. Together, their journey reminded the world that even when love is tested, it can be rebuilt through honesty and forgiveness. And then there is Adele, whose career has been defined by reinvention, heartbreak, and triumphant returns. Each album marking a new chapter in her life and reminding fans that music can heal wounds, both personal and collective. And in the same way, Taylor Swift transformed her experiences into different eras of her career, from fearless country beginnings to bold pop anthems to indie folk masterpieces like Folklore, proving that reinvention can become a superpower, and these stories resonate because they reflect the human experience of change and perseverance. And if we look at the global stage, we see BTS, whose music and message of self-love turn challenges into triumphs, leading them from small beginnings in Korea to filling stadiums across the world and inspiring millions to embrace their own worth. And Blackpink, who proved that 4 young women could conquer the world stage with music, fashion, and empowerment, showing fans that barriers are made to be broken. And then we remember stars like Lady Gaga, who after facing personal struggles redefined herself not only as a pop powerhouse, but as an Oscar-winning actress advocating for mental health and equality. Her story teaches us that authenticity is the true key to lasting success, and in Hollywood, Zendaya shines as an example of how a young star can grow gracefully, using her platform for diversity and creativity, becoming both a fashion icon and a voice for change. While in sports, legends like Serena Williams, LeBron James, and Lionel Messi show that greatness is not just about victories, but about inspiring future generations and giving back. And through all these narratives, we realize that Justin and Hailey's willingness to be open about their marriage struggles places them in a long tradition of celebrities whose honesty makes them relatable, because it shows that behind the fame, they are people too. And that simple truth is what makes their journey so compelling and so inspiring. And when we dive deeper into the incredible world of stars, we see how each journey feels like a mirror of life itself, because no matter how high the stage is or how bright the lights there are, always moments of struggle that turn into resilience and triumph. And this is why Justin and Hailey Bieber opening up in Swagdare about marriage and the challenges they face together resonates so strongly with fans, because it shows that even the most glamorous couples experience real-life struggles and yet choose love and commitment over everything, and this very openness makes their story timeless. And as we move beyond their journey, we encounter Rihanna, whose path from a young girl in Barbados to a global music and fashion mogul is nothing short of remarkable. She not only dominated charts with unforgettable hits, but built Fenty Beauty into a billion-dollar brand, changing the beauty industry forever by embracing inclusivity and diversity. And beyond the success, Rihanna has been deeply involved in philanthropy, giving back to education and healthcare through her Clara Lionel Foundation, and showing that celebrity is not only about self, but about lifting others. And if we look at Oprah Winfrey, she stands as one of the greatest icons of inspiration, overcoming unimaginable hardships in her early life to become the most influential talk show host, media mogul, and philanthropist of her generation. Oprah has always been a storyteller at heart, making people feel seen and valued and creating a legacy rooted in empowerment and generosity. And alongside these powerful women, we see figures like Keanu Reeves, who despite his massive fame remains humble, kind, and deeply private, known as the internet's beloved gentleman. His story proves that staying grounded in humanity is possible in a world filled with flashing lights. And then there is Zendaya, who represents the new wave of stars using her influence for diversity, fashion, and creativity, balancing blockbuster roles with meaningful advocacy. Her career is a beacon to younger generations, proving that success and authenticity can coexist. And from there, we turn to other powerful voices like Shakira, who not only dazzled the world with her music and Super Bowl performance, but also became an ambassador for education in Colombia, showing that success carries even greater meaning when tied to impact. And similarly, Angelina Jolie, who has used her platform for humanitarian causes, traveling to war zones as a UN Goodwill ambassador and making adoption and family part of her larger mission of love and care. And when fans see stories like these, they realize that the bond between Justin and Hailey and their ability to face marriage struggles with honesty fits into this larger tapestry of celebrities who use their platforms to share truth, resilience, and hope. And what makes these journeys so magnetic is that they combine art and humanity into a shared experience. And when you add voices like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Adele, Rihanna, Oprah, Zendaya, and countless others, it becomes a collective story that reminds fans across the world that no matter who you are or where you come from, you can rise, face challenges, transform pain into strength, and inspire others along the way.